watching the best. Fox 10 News at noon.
Pro-Palestinian protests hit ASU. A live report from Tempe.
Plus a hit and run along Indian School Road. We tell you what we know about the victim's condition.
And a wildfire burns hundreds of acres south of the valley. We've got an update on that firefight. Thank you for being here at noon. Let's start with Skyfox pictures at ASU's campus in Tempe, where a pro-Palestinian protest breaks out this afternoon.
Students have gathered in the northern side of the campus along University Drive. Looking at the video here, they're holding up white signs that say liberated zone, and those are in red letters.
Yeah, and when we look at the size of this protest, fairly small in comparison to what we've seen, especially in New York City, a couple of different campuses there and across the country. So these protests have broken out again at universities all across the nation. Many schools have called police to break up these protests. That has led to hundreds of arrests, potentially a very serious situation on these campuses. And
what we're learning right now is that police are on scene here. Arrests are already being made. Fox 10's Lauren Clark joining us live on site. Lauren, what do you see there?
Good afternoon, guys. So this group arrived here on ASU's campus about 4 hours ago, and I'm actually going to step out of the frame here so you can see a little bit of what's going on. They have signs, tents, and we're chanting throughout the morning, although it looks like there's a break in that right now. Earlier, ASU police officers were arresting protesters. That was caught on a lot of cell phone video. And in a statement, ASU said encampments on campus are prohibited unless they're part of a university-sanctioned activity, and that individuals putting up unapproved encampments will be directed to dismantle them immediately. And failure to do so, according to ASU, may result from being trespassed from campus and possible arrest. Now, ASU didn't tell Fox 10 how many protesters here were arrested. However, we do have tents back up here and officers just back keeping an eye on everything. Protesters include current and past students and community members. A list of their demands from a Twitter promoting this event include items like ASU ending all research exchanges and partnerships with Israel, abolishing ASU and Tempe PD, and that ASU President Michael Crow resign immediately.
It's sad what's happening in Gaza right now. Like, it's just on another level of being so terrible. The message that I want to send to ASU, stop the funding.
Yeah, and back out here live, you can see some police officers in the wing over here. There was at least one counter protester here with an Israeli flag. And the Hillel Jewish Center at ASU says representatives are currently keeping an eye at the event. They also said they're providing Passover programming and support for students. As for how long this will continue, well, a few protesters told me they're planning to do so indefinitely to get their message across. So this could be continuing on for several hours and perhaps even longer. We're going to be out here all day, though, covering this, so make sure you're watching Fox 10 and social media for more. Reporting live in Tempe, Lauren Clark, Fox 10 News.
All right, Lauren, thank you. Looking forward to your reports later on today. A man taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries after a hit and run in the West Valley. This is Indian School Road and way out in the West Valley again. The Maricopa County Sheriff's Office tells us hit and run. Investigators are looking into it. We'll get more updates and we'll bring them to you. We have some updated numbers from a wildfire just outside of the city of Maricopa. The Department of Forestry is saying 85% of this fire is now contained. The scene is still active, but crews are clearing up some of the interior hotspots. About 300 acres were burned in total. The fire fueled by wind and the heat, and there's grass and brush in the area, and that helped fuel that blaze.
Let's take a look, a live look. Sky Harbor passengers saw some delays this morning in the terminals. Problem has since been fixed. Planes are taking off on schedule. However, a little bit of a nightmare earlier for passengers who were checking in on site. They had a big problem. That's because of an internet-related issue. Tech staff went right to work. They got everything back up to working order. However, there were still some long lines at kiosks for a couple of hours as staff caught up with a big backlog.
Day one of the NFL draft is in the books, so here we are in day two. But looking back, we got a couple of pretty good picks. Roll it.
The Arizona Cardinals select Marvin Harrison Jr., wide receiver, Ohio State. The Arizona Cardinals select Darius Robinson, defensive tackle, Missouri.
Yeah, you're saying he's one big dude. He's 6'4", 280. And And Marvin Harrison Jr. is 6'4". He's much lighter, but he's very fast. So we were lucky enough. The Cards had 2 picks in the first round this year. 4th overall, you heard that, wide receiver from Ohio State, Marvin Harrison Jr., 2-time All-American, averaged 100 yards a game last season, and by far and away, most analysts think he was the best college football receiver for sure, and maybe the best player in the entire draft, first non-quarterback to get drafted. And with the 27th pick later in the first round, the Cardinals added Darius Robinson. Now, he's that 6'4", 280 guy. He's on the defensive line. He's a big run stuffer. You can't run past him. He gets some sacks, too. So the pick came from the Texans after a trade a year ago. So he is expected to really beef up that defensive line this year.
You know, if you live up north, it kind of feels like football weather. Take a look at this fresh coating of powder at Snow Bowl. Over the span of the past 24 hours, ski resort received an extra 6 inches of snow. Plus, there's a chance of even more coming later today. Website shows a total snowfall this season just over 20 feet. I'd say that's a successful season. Right now, it is set to end May 5th, so about a little over a week left to hit the slopes this year. However, last year, I think it was extended to a Memorial Day weekend, right? So maybe we'll get lucky this year.
You had the whole resort to yourself today.
I know, right? People don't know it's open.
Yeah.
So tickets are still available, and we're being told they're pretty inexpensive. Temperatures in Flagstaff in the 30s all week, and then the further you go up the mountain in the 20s. So just bundle up. Spring skiing is the best.
Yeah, especially when the sun comes out, you can get your jean cutoffs.
Oh, and the tank top.
Sure,
you get
tank
a good
top.
farmer's tan.
You bet, a mesh half shirt.
We lost our picture.
Sure.
Okay, Donald Trump's trial in Manhattan in its 8th day. Coming up, what to expect from David Pecker's testimony.
Anthony Blinken, Secretary of State, visiting China's President Xi Jinping. The two of them with apparently a contentious conversation. We'll talk about this coming up.
And happy Friday. We are tracking some really nice temperatures as we head into the weekend, but we are still going to see the chance for that rain and snow up in the high country. I'm going to break it all down for you in my full forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
You're watching Fox 10 News at Noon with Troy Hayden and Anita Roman.
New comments this afternoon from Joe Biden saying that he would be happy to debate Donald Trump.
So the president said this during an interview with radio host Howard Stern, and that goes against some comments from about a month ago. So when asked about debating Donald Trump, Joe Biden said it would depend on his behavior. He didn't say when, but he said he is willing. And you would imagine if these two end up and, you know, they aren't officially had their nominations yet, you have to wait till after the conventions. But they will debate at some point. So Donald Trump quickly responded on social media saying anywhere, anytime, any place. So they are the front runners in their respective parties. Neither of them have done a debate so far in this election cycle. Before returning to court in Manhattan this morning, former President Trump wished his wife Melania a happy birthday.
He told reporters he should be in Florida with her today and not in the courtroom. Here's Madeline Rivera with the very latest on the case.
Former President Donald Trump returning to court in Manhattan Friday as the criminal trial over alleged hush money payments enters day 8.
I think yesterday went very well in this courthouse. The case should be over.
Thursday, Trump praised David Pecker, a central witness who has been testifying since Monday.
David's been very nice, a nice guy.
But Thursday, the former publisher of the National Enquirer revealed new details about burying negative stories to shield Trump's 2016 presidential campaign, including a $150,000 deal with a former Playboy model who said she had an affair with Trump. Pecker testified the Enquirer bought the rights to Karen McDougal's story, but never published her allegations, a tactic known as catch and kill. Pecker told the jury, quote, "We didn't want the story to embarrass Mr. Trump or embarrass or hurt the campaign."
Today was breathtaking. This room, you saw what went on. It was breathtaking and amazing testimony. This is a trial that should have never happened. This is a case that should have never been filed. And it was really an incredible.
Prosecutors are making the case the catch and kill scheme amounted to election interference.
The question is, are people who are committed to voting, because the real, for the rest of us, the question is, are the people who are committed to voting for Donald Trump again, for the third time, are they affected by any of this?
Today, Trump's legal team will have the opportunity to cross-examine Pecker. Madeline Rivera, Fox 10 News.
Today, U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken in Beijing, where he met with the Chinese President Xi Jinping.
The two discuss a number of global but contentious issues, including China's support of Russia and connections to Iran. The visit comes 2 days after President Joe Biden signed a $95 billion foreign aid package. Included in that, $8 billion to counter China's military advances and aggression in the South China Sea and towards Taiwan. So this as tensions continue on topics regarding technology, fentanyl, and trade, along with its ties to Russia as the war in Ukraine rages on. Take a listen.
Russia would struggle to sustain its assault on Ukraine without China's support.
China has also opposed any forced sale of social media platform TikTok, but Blinken told reporters that discussions on that social media app did not come up during the visit.
Current temperature out there, 79 degrees. We'll see those temperatures rising just a little bit to get the heat of the day, but you can see those wind speeds starting to pick up. Really breezy up in the high country, and we're tracking more rain and snow moving into the forecast area. I'll have that for you coming up after the break.
And a nice day on the stock market. Mega stocks, Alphabet, which is Google's parent company, announces a $70 billion buyback and a dividend. So the Dow up about a half percentage point. Your S&P 500 up over a full percentage point today.
Your Fox 10 weather experts with Corey, Crystal, and Ty. All day on the station for the best country and all-time favorites. 102.5 KNIX. You're watching the Fox 10 weather experts with Ty Brennan on Fox 10 News.
Well, happy Friday. We are starting with a live look up in Sedona this afternoon and some ominous looking skies as we continue to see those clouds rolling in. I want to show you this though. Look at these wind speeds. These are sustained wind speeds right now in Sedona, coming out of the south there at 26 miles an hour. So we continue to see some really breezy conditions no matter where you are in the state. Down here in the valley, we're only seeing those wind speeds at 11 miles an hour. But you can see it's kind of buffeting the camera as we look over the valley to the north from the South Mountain. Our temperatures today topping out close to 82 degrees. We're going to continue to see some very breezy conditions. And then tonight, slight chance of maybe seeing a few sprinkles out there. We're going to continue to see those temperatures below those seasonal averages as we head into the beginning of your weekend. Temperatures right now, most everybody in those mid to upper 70s depending on where you live. Places like Wickenburg still hanging on to those upper 60s. And look at Maricopa already in those low 80s this afternoon. Up in the high country, 47 for Flagstaff, 51 at the Grand Canyon. Upper 50s continue around the rim country, 63 in Sedona, and then those low 70s in Bullhead City, upper 70s in Havasu. But that satellite and radar picture starting to show some of that rain falling in the northwest corner of our state. And this is going to be the story on and off throughout the rest of the afternoon. Scattered showers up in the high country. We're going to throw that into the future cast for you in just a second. But that big weather story today, breezy conditions. We still are under that wind advisory in the northeast corner of the state. And that's going to be in effect until this evening at 8 p.m. I want to show you some of the sustained winds because it's pretty impressive. Look at this, 30 mile an hour sustained winds right now in Show Low, 22 mile an hour winds in Winslow, 26 mile an hour winds sustained in Prescott. We've been recording the maximum wind gusts that we have seen so far today. And look at Winslow, a 41 mile an hour wind gust recorded there, a 36 mile an hour wind gust recorded in Sedona, and then another really breezy day in Prescott with those wind gusts topping out close to 41. So that just shows you how breezy it has been and will continue to be throughout the rest of your afternoon. So here's the future cast. Right around 6 p.m. we'll start to see some of those scattered showers up in the high country. That could potentially be turning into a rain-snow mix up in the high country. That snow level dropping to around that 7,000 foot level. Accumulation probably starting right around 8,000 feet. Less than an inch is going to be expected though. This is going to be kind of a fairly quick storm. We're going to continue with those chances of rain. We too here in the valley could see a very slight chance of maybe seeing a few scattered showers, but it looks like the majority of that energy is going to stay well to the north of us. Early tomorrow morning, that rain turning over to a rain-snow mix and mainly snow because those temperatures are going to be dropping down in the Flagstaff area. So we could see some snow on the ground in Flagstaff to start us off for your Saturday morning. But then by Saturday afternoon and into the evening hours, the majority of that moisture is out of here and we're looking for a fairly warm day on your Sunday. Temperatures today topping out in the low 80s here in the low deserts, 50s and 60s along the rim country, upper 40s, low 50s into the high country today. And then here is that 10-day forecast. Cloudy skies for tomorrow. We're going to continue with those very breezy conditions. And then by Sunday, warming up 87. And then by Monday, we are back into those low 90s. By Tuesday, the upper 90s. And that's going to continue through midweek before we start to see those temperatures back down into those low 90s by next weekend.
I'm going to bask in the glory of 80 degrees.
There you go. Get out there.
Like actual basking? Like you can find a lounge chair?
Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
Absolutely.
Use your sunscreen.
Thank you.
All right, a guitar used by the Beatles resurfaces after years in an attic. How much this thing is worth?
Plus, an update from King Charles as he undergoes cancer treatment. All that and so much more coming up. Entertainment headlines: a judge is denying rapper Travis Scott's bid to drop hundreds of lawsuits that have been filed against him.
It's over his role in that deadly crowd-crushing incident at the 2021 Astroworld Festival. 10 people died there. Hundreds more were injured in a crowd surge that happened during the concert. Scott's attorneys argued the artist's responsibility only dealt with the creative aspects of the show and not with any safety or security decisions. The first lawsuit is now set to go to trial on May 6th.
An update from Buckingham Palace as the king continues cancer treatment. He is feeling well enough to return to his public duties. 75-year-old and his wife, Queen Camilla, are going to a cancer center next week to meet with patients, medical professionals there. Palace spokesperson said doctors are satisfied with the progress the king has made so far, but some events will need to accommodate for him as he continues with his battle. A forgotten guitar used by the Beatles star John Lennon, George Harrison, resurfaces, and now it is up for auction. The acoustic Framus guitar, as it's called, labeled a hootenanny, is being sold by Julian's Auctions. They say the guitar has been restored to play its recognizable sound after it was passed down by Lennon and others, stashed in an attic. Can you believe that? The hootenanny expected to be the most expensive Beatle guitar ever.
It's a 12-string. Look at that. That's got a beautiful sound. Returning to the big screen, J.R. Tolkien classic heading back there. A remastered and extended version of Lord of the Rings trilogy is screening across 3 days starting on June 8th. It'll be the first time the Oscar-winning films will be shown remastered in theaters. Tickets are available now. You know what's also in theaters this week? It's next week. Alien.
Oh.
Movie Alien. 45th
I have
anniversary.
seen Alien. It's terrifying.
Oh, it's a good one. National Pretzel Day today. Find out where you can get a free pretzel treat.
Welcome back. Another check of that 10-day forecast. 82 for today. Slight chance of maybe seeing a few isolated showers here in the valley, but a better chance up in the high country. Tomorrow, only 80, and those breezy conditions will continue.
I want you to know I love the both of you because you make me laugh so hard.
Okay. Pretzel lovers, you'll be tied up in knots today because it is National Pretzel Day. So the twisted treat, often covered in a nice rock salt.
Oh, those look so good.
Mm-hmm.
With the cheese dip.
Believed to have arrived in America, German immigrants brought the pretzel in the 1700s. So some businesses offering deals to celebrate today. Auntie Anne's, that's a big pretzel place. You get a free cinnamon sugar pretzel if you're a reward member. Philly Pretzel Factory, I haven't heard of that one. A free pretzel, any locations across the country. Wetzel's Pretzels, the highlight of the mall trip back in the 1990s, giving out pretzels. Make sure you go after 3 p.m. And Bar Louie, which is kind of a happening spot at Westgate. I don't know if they have other locations, but Bar Louie is fun. You can get free bar bite pretzels, as well as chicken nachos and calamari. And there you go.
And also, Wildlife World 2 has the best pretzels ever.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Bye.